Good evening, everyone. We will now begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for blessings and protection received while participating in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka amahara ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuro mino mikoto mochite. Sume miyoya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no himuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi hara ni. Misogi harai tamo toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono o kami tachi moro moro no magagoto tsumi kegare o. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshi o. Amatsu-kami kuni-tsukami aoyorozu no kami tachi tomo ni ame no fuji koma no mimi furi tatete kikoshimese to kashikomi kashikomi momasu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kam nagara tamashi haimase. Kam nagara tamachi haimase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated for group Johrei. May God Meishu-sama bless you. The teaching this evening is entitled A Way to Live from Daily Inspirations, page 55. If we follow the right path, with no selfish motive, true to cosmic law, God never fails to bless us abundantly. If we learn the meaning of the word moderation and apply it to everything, life in this world goes rather smoothly. Weak are those people who do wrong acts. They are lacking in self-control. The Japanese word hodo, meaning moderation, it's an important concept, and it applies to everything in the world. Human beings are inclined to go to extremes, such as doing too much on the one hand, not doing enough on the other, leaning too far to the right or too far to the left in thinking, feeling superior when rich, inferior when poor. The cause of failure in many cases seems to be this lack of balance. To apply this spiritually, we teach the importance of the Izunome principle or balance, which is the meeting point of the vertical and the horizontal, Shoujo and Daijo. Quite simply, it means moderation. Therefore, one of the most important things for us to keep in mind at all times is moderation. If we only live by that standard, everything will go well, I assure you. Moderation is indeed really important in our life. Meishu-sama, in the full version of this teaching, mentioned about this famous calligrapher, Teshu Yamaoka, when he saw this one character for Hodo, balance, was this one big character, and underneath in small letters, everything depends on this word. So Meishu-sama was deeply impressed by it and applied this principle in his life and tried to teach us through what he wrote and his practices. He gave us examples as such. When he, let's suppose that he was asking for some coffee and people put the sugar. And then when the coffee would come to him, or you put too much sugar, can you put a little less so people would bring again? Now was not enough. So this kind of experience going too much in one hand, and then when you try to balance it, you go too far on the other hand. So when we apply this in many areas of our lives, then eventually we will find a meeting point, the balance point, the Izunome point, the point of balance, by experiencing trying in this way, trying to do in that way, and we may not succeed initially, but keeping in mind, as Meishu-sama teaches, this principle, applying in many aspects in our emotional lives, in our financial lives, in our practice of faith even. I had this example of one person who was jobless, and she was coming every day to the Johrei Center, attending the morning service, staying until the evening service, which is 6 p.m. And I was reporting to all minister, I'm not getting any job. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I'm doing my best and do my dedications, coming to the center every day, channeling and receiving Johrei, praying, helping with the cleanups. What do you suggest? I asked her, How many resumes have you sent to companies? How many phone calls have you given? Oh, not much. So you expect just that God and Meishu-sama will do that for you? You have to do your part. So you have to balance that. It is very good that you are dedicated, but I expect that just by coming and not doing your part is not going to guarantee you a job. Yeah, do that part. Keep praying, but do that part. There is a, I heard this uh, saying from the Middle Eastern, and goes like this. Yeah, pray to Allah, but tie your camel first. So you expect that your camel is not going to run away, but you will tie the camel in the rope. Is not enough. Yes, you have to tie the camel first, and then you pray to Allah. So it's the same kind of principle. We have to do our part always. Today, I would like to share this faith experience. This experience was shared yesterday in Brazil. It's from Carlos Morim Pereira Jr. He is from the city of Mogi das Cruzes, a place that I have visited once, in fact. Carlos has been a Johrei member for 10 years and has always wanted to be more active in his dedications. However, he could not, as he worked in another city where he spent most of his time. Also, he felt sad about being away from his wife and children. His practice of faith consisted of participating in monthly services, making donations of gratitude, and making a pilgrimage every year to the sacred grounds of Guarapiranga for Meishu-sama's birthday service in December. And he kept doing this practice and realized that he needed to talk to his minister what else was missing. Would you excuse me a second, please? I'm sorry for that. So wishing for professional improvement and a more flexible schedule to dedicate to our church and his family, at the beginning of 2019, he decided to attend a postgraduate course in finances focused on the investment market. At the monthly service at the Johrei Center, at the end of the same year, the faith experience shared there taught him a lot. In it, the person said that she was not happy at work and asked the minister for guidance. She started to dedicate her free time to various activities in the church, mainly in channeling Johrei. After some time, she was blessed with another job, and today she's very happy. Thus, Carlos made the decision to break barriers and be useful to the divine work, dedicating as much as possible. He went to the Johrei Center to talk to his minister and made himself available to serve wherever needed. As he was away all week, he began going to the Johrei Center to dedicate on weekends. With the arrival of the pandemic in March 2020, the services started to be broadcasted online. He felt this was amazing as he was able to have the opportunity to attend morning services on a daily basis. Even when he was traveling, he kept following the transmissions on his smartphone. This brought him closer to God, Meishu-sama, and our church. In April, his company ordered the employees to work from home for 60 days. He felt the hand of God working in his life as he had never had a 30-day vacation. It was wonderful to spend 2 months with his family and intensify the Johrei channeling and the practice of faith in his home. After completing his postgraduate studies in June 2020 and passing the certification exam to work in the financial market, he amazingly began receiving several job offers and was able to choose the one with which he identified the most. He made an agreement with the firm where he worked and left with great gratitude for the time he was helpful there and how he was able to provide for his family through that business. Today, he works for a large investment company. He has flexible hours where he can be close to his wife and children and serve more actively in the divine plan. In addition to offering donations of gratitude and participating in monthly services, he now dedicates to daily channeling of Johrei and accounting for the Johrei Center. He's very happy with this opportunity to serve in such a way. He understood that when putting God first, try to be useful, and took care of the spiritual side of his life, everything happened harmoniously, surpassing his expectations. Carlos is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for the blessings and lessons given to him. He now reinforces his commitment to serve in the realization of paradise on earth through the dedications and practices of our faith. Thank you very much. It was a nice experience from Carlos from Mogi das Cruzes. I want to thank you for attending the service. Looking forward to have your presence in our upcoming morning and evening services this week. Wish you a very wonderful week, and with this concludes our evening service. Thank you very much.